Wait a minute here. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, who's been so welcoming in the past.
What do you mean welcoming? She's never welcomed a migrant.
Been welcoming, right? But that's the whole thing, right? What did I see the other day? Hey, tell these immigrants to stop coming here because you're ruining our sanctuary city.
No. Yeah, did she welcome migrants, I don't know, 2021?
We say you are welcome here. You're welcome. Places like New York really are at capacity. You know, we have large hearts. You want to be generous and supportive to people who are experiencing humanitarian crisis. But there is a limit to what we can do. We're at our limit.
Yeah. I mean, you could take some, right? Because you're huge. I mean, you're huge. Oh my God, it's big. You got room. I mean, New York. You're paying New York rates.
Now you know how we feel, right?
For 3 decades.
Yes. But you wanted to welcome everybody.
Yeah.
So guess what happened? People took you up on it. It really is amazing. The president, what did he say? Well, I mean, I don't know the exact words that he used, but our borders are in fact open, and people they are walking over with ease. And we even talked about it. We set a record for the fiscal year.
We beat last year. So last year at 2.3 million. This year at 2.466 million.
Yeah.
And that included about a 6 to 8 week period where everybody was trying to figure out what was going on, so it slowed down.
It did.
Could you imagine? We would be heading probably towards 2.7 without that.
So when we talk to Allie Bradley, who's always down the border from News Nation, she comes on the show, she says 90% of the migrants that she speaks with ask for a ticket to New York City. Well, why do you think? If I was entering another country, and someone said, please come, we'll house you, we'll take care of you. Isn't that what she said?
We say you are welcome here. We are welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you.
Sure, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The problem is, you have the governor of New York now saying that we've taken in over 100,000 migrants in the last year. We believe that the bill to shelter migrants will be $12 billion with a B dollars over the next 3 years.
Because they're putting them in hotels that are charging them full rate. You're not getting the hotels.com Expedia rate. You're getting government rates. Normally, we'd rent this room out for $150 a night. For you, $275.
You get your laundry done there.
And that's what should be being examined.
It's fantastic. And it's one of the reasons that in New York, they liked what Biden came up with a couple of weeks ago. If you're here and you've claimed asylum and you're in certain parts of the country, I'm going to allow you to go and work. Now, some people hated that idea. Why did New York like it? Well, because these people can get out of the hotel that New York is spending on.
Yeah.
Go in and fend for yourself. You can now go and get a job legally, I think, while you wait for your court date. So, of course, New York likes that idea because it takes some of the burden off them. They can move somewhere else, or they can, get a little apartment, or, they can find a job and it'll all be legal. But, let's go down the road of how she says we should close the border. All right. So if you're just joining us, the governor of New York City wants the southern border closed. Okay. All right. So is that a good idea or a bad idea? Because I think some of you are saying, well, geez, at this point, maybe we should just close it down. No, you can't do that. What would it look like? Here's what it would look like. What would happen to trade? It would cause it would cause a serious strain on the U.S. economy. Some people call it an economic and political catastrophe.
Or
Can't sleep.
we could just, and this is my favorite thing, Kears, everybody pay attention, enforce the laws and go back to the dreaded remain in Mexico. Oh, God.
That'd be a shame. No, that would work. That would work. But if you were to close the border, it would be an economic and political catastrophe. It would disrupt billions of dollars worth of goods. And experts say that it does little in combating the asylum issue. It would do little in combating the illegal narcotics trafficking. So I can only go with what the experts say. I'm not an expert on the border. I mean, a lot of us in Arizona think we are. We just kind of lived through it. But we don't know what the disruption. They're talking about, like...
They're talking about closing the border. They're not talking about, like, hey, let's make sure that that anybody you meet and that come and surrender, you turn around and send it back. They're...
ATAR just went off the air, just like that.
Fruits. How are we going to get
Hey,
gasoline? Because we do trade with Mexico. They're our biggest trading partner
In the world, by the way. They just overtook Mexico.
So you have a governor of New York suggesting that we close the border. And I'll tell you, she obviously doesn't know anything about the border.
No.
Because it doesn't take a whole lot to look up what would happen if the border were to close. And I read 10 articles on it today. And I couldn't find one person that thinks it's a good idea from either side.
A New York thing, though, right? Because New York, none of this mattered until New York got uncomfortable with what was happening at the southern borders for the last 4 decades.
I feel like New York lives in such a bubble. And to be fair, it's not a bubble I can comprehend. But it seems to be a bubble that everything that goes on outside of it, they can't comprehend.
And some people there, that it got uncomfortable for them, and it became news, and it became just, it became an annoyance to them.
Right, and I thought that was, it was strange at the beginning. I thought, I don't want these people used as pawns. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe it did shine a light on exactly what's going on.
There's quite a big new homeless encampment underneath the overpass. I just went over to the right.
Those stunts didn't work.
I don't know how I hadn't noticed that yet, but wow, it's really building under there.
It doesn't change anything.
No, but those people were still coming here anyways.
Right, but it doesn't change anything because, like, you know, they sent them to all these democratic cities, and it hasn't changed anything.
And the funny thing is, they didn't send that many.
They're not talking to Joe Biden. Are they bashing Joe Biden here?
No. Of course, this will blame it on Trump at some point in time. It'll be Trump and the Republicans' fault when it's both their faults. Both parties have failed for 4 decades to fix anything, and they continue to do what they do, which is virtually nothing.
But you would think that if it's hitting democratic cities, they would go to Biden and ask him to fix it.
Mayor Adams has on numerous occasions.
All right.
Looks like some
And they
people
also point to
camping by the
Mayorkas.
bus stop
All of
on
them
the
have
left
pointed
as
to
well.
Mayorkas, who needs to be out of that
Or it could be
job.
somebody waiting for the bus
He's
stop
doing
with
the
just a
bidding of the White
whole
House.
bunch of
Right. I think, just to put a bow on this,
Could be either of those
there
things.
isn't anything that's going to change. And you said it right. I mean, I'm tired of, we need, comprehensive immigration, all that. Nobody's going to do it.
Every time I drive through here, I still keep looking for Sarah.
Biden does not want to do anything, so it'll keep going like this. That's exactly how it's
Hell,
going
for
to
that
be.
matter, I
Because
still
this
keep
is how
kinda
he
looking for
wants it.
Natalie.
For one reason or another, he wants all of them to come here.
Just go ahead and cut me off, dude.
I mean,
Thank you.
that's really what we're at.
And there's something.
He's not interested in even slowing it down. He's turning.
Wow, I just noticed the closed Circle K store still has a Circle K sign on the backside facing to the north.
He's not interested in deterring them, and he's not interested
They're doing some work on that building right
He's
now.
interested in doing. He's doing this purposely. Come here. For one reason or another.
All right. The whole immigration thing isn't really news. That's just an everyday thing. The position of New York changing has been happening for a while. They just stated something that they've already stated again. I mean, that's probably the first time they've been calling for a closure of the border, but still. Representative Sinema was in the news, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago-ish, as she was very upset that because New York was being very vocal about all the immigrants showing up there, that they received a huge sum of money to help them with their immigrant crisis, and it was a substantially larger sum of money than what we're receiving here in Arizona, where the border is. So that was interesting. I'm not used to taking this exit. In fact, I'm wondering if I've ever even taken this exit before. Usually, if I'm going into the airport, I'm coming off the 143. And if I'm on 44th Street, I'm just continuing on south to University and probably headed to Rob's shop. Speaking of which, I haven't heard from him much since the other day when I gave him $200. So it's 2:16 p.m. Currently, I'm 16 minutes late for work. It was looking like today I was going to actually head out to work early. By the way, it's Monday, October 2nd, 2022, which means I got a pretty hard deadline tomorrow to pay my storage, or I'm going to have late fees. And I was really hoping to get that taken care of before work today, And part of it's on me. I was working on my vlog, trying to get another chapter uploaded. I don't know why I'm putting any urgency on that. I mean, shit, I'm uploading August 6th right now. It's a compound thing. Like, I gotta kind of keep fighting at it. I'm trying to get myself less behind at uploading it. Although, I noticed in the last 2 weeks, I only uploaded 1 week's worth of content. And that seems to be kind of where I'm at, even with me putting a lot of effort into it. I mean, keep in mind, I was sick all last weekend. So, on Saturday, that's literally all I did was just file and edit and upload video. So, yikes. Now, I can put a little blame on myself. At one point, I did have the next video ready to go, and I didn't upload it because the one prior to it had just only received 1 view, and I thought that if I uploaded the next one right away, that would result in it just sitting there at 1 view, the way the algorithm works, and the way I've just kind of seen the algorithm working, and the YouTube algorithm. And it probably would have made a huge difference anyway, because for some reason that one's still kind of hanging at 19 and it's not getting any more views. But yeah, when I got up in the morning, thinking about uploading it before I went to work, it was still sitting at 3 views. I'm like, nah, I shouldn't upload it yet. And then, of course, when I got to work, even though it was all ready to upload, it's just finding an internet connection at work that I can upload it from is problematic. And then, of course, I compounded the situation by the fact that while I had gone to sleep, it had removed itself from my iPhone's local files and was only up on the iCloud. So not only did I need to get enough bandwidth to upload it, I need to get enough bandwidth to retrieve it from the iCloud. So I did eventually get it uploaded shortly before I got out from work, and it got an amazing amount of views in its like first 2 hours. I mean, amazing for me is like, I don't know, 60, 40, I don't know, I forget. And it's not important. What is important is why I'm late for work. That was, working the video was a small part of it, but it was getting me out the door a little bit slower. Because I was trying to get to the bank, and then trying to get the money order and get to package store. Actually, when I get to work, I'm gonna talk to Rob real quick, because I gotta talk to him about the fact I didn't clock into work on Thursday, and maybe see if it's cool if I take they live without me for the next hour while I go handle this, because I'm thinking there's no way in hell I'm gonna find the time to do it tomorrow, and they're pretty. I keep saying packet store, U-store. Name changed years ago, but I really struggle with name changes. Yeah, see if I can handle that, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna have time to do it tomorrow. In fact, I'm doubtful that I will get to work tomorrow in time, because I've got my trial in downtown Phoenix. Oh shit. So, gosh, and I don't have a current transit pass, because I haven't found the time to get up to my mental health clinic to deal with that.
State and the Diamondbacks, you got to just go on the road, or you can play on the softball field that I played on this weekend. It's perfectly fine.
Have the band play on top of the dugout during the game.
There you go. It's just that's perfect.
Most crowd that they've sat in a while.
All right. So no faith in the team. That's tough. That's tough. Hey, did you hear that Elu got strangled by?
That's interesting news, and if y'all couldn't make that out in the background, a little bit it popped up. So the city of Phoenix owns the stadium formerly known as Banquet Ballpark, Chase Field. And they've said that if MLB schedules any games for the Diamondbacks on a date where they already have a concert scheduled, because they're scheduling concerts and stuff there, that the Diamondbacks won't be able to play there because the concert is going to take precedence. They own the stadium. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I guess the bottom line on that is the Diamondbacks are not generating enough income to support that municipal stadium, which is why I really think that government should stay out of sports, but that's a whole separate that's a whole separate topic I ain't got time to even delve into. And it's a complicated one for sure. And of course, my opinions are definitely tainted by the fact that I am not a sports fan. So, anyway, needless to say, I didn't get out the door. Right as I was about to get out the door with just barely enough time to, I don't know, at best, make it to the bank. I was thinking I could do this stuff and then show up at work later, whatever. I finally got a call from James Tinker, my attorney, in my assault case. By the way, the trial is tomorrow. Yeah, when I ended my vlog yesterday, I said I wasn't sure if it was today or tomorrow, and I had to listen through my vlogs after I came out of city court, and I heard it was tomorrow. And what I probably should have done while I was laying awake last night and I couldn't sleep was try to clean up the mess in my room and get all the paperwork that I had got at that last court hearing, which was clear back in like July, I think. Yeah, it was like early July. I probably should have looked for that paperwork, but I don't know, I kept laying down. I was hoping I could sleep, but I couldn't sleep, and I should have made better use of that time, but I didn't find the paperwork. Mr. Tinker did email me another copy of it. Anyway, he called me, and it's the first time I really got to talk to him about my case, you know? And he's like, well, why didn't you call me sooner? And the reality is, I never called him sooner because every time I tried to get a hold of him, it just felt like a dead end. And I'm not good at talking on the phone. I kind of just need to go places and talk to people in person. And the one time that I attempted to go to his office and talk to him in person, it was not something I could do. They said that yeah, while he worked out of that office, that he wasn't actually there. They worked out of his home primarily, and to call him, and I called, and I got voicemail, and granted, I should try harder at stuff like that, but I just have so much anxieties around making phone calls and stuff that I don't even call family and loved ones or really anyone. Like I'm a very hard person to reach, and I have a lot of anxieties about reaching out to other people. So unless I see you as part of my daily life, I tend to forget. Honestly, I kind of forgot this whole debacle existed. I mean, I can't say I forgot, but you know what I mean? It's just like kind of faded into the, oh, that's something coming off in the distant future. Well, now the distant future is tomorrow. So that's where I'm at with that. Oh yeah, it is still recording. Wasn't 100% sure on that. It's actually fairly mild out today. I feel like it's in the 80s right now, as opposed to the crazy hot that it has been for so long. I'm already dressed up for work, so that's a good thing. Hope you all enjoying this high quality cinematography here.